of time. Look at that, live! Welcome to Northwoods Assembly tonight. I'm not Pastor Brad, and welcome. I'm glad that you could join us and everybody here, and for everybody that's here tonight. How's everybody doing? Great! All right, I didn't hear you online there, so next week you got to be here so I can hear you. Tonight's going to be a little bit different. Pastor Brad is not here, and it was kind of last minute. So I didn't really have time to prepare anything that was going to be worth you hearing it tonight. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a video of Pastor preaching before, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna play it live. We're gonna play it Memorex here, and then we're gonna have a link for you to click on online, and you can watch it. And at the end, Pastor Brad wanted to play a specific song, and the link for that song will be there as well if you're watching online. So you'll be able to click on that link, and it'll take you to that song so that you can hear it, because we can't play it live here because they'll come and take us to broadcasting jail because we don't have the copyright for it. So that's what we're going to do. But before we do that, Brad will talk in this sermon about the word for the year, but it's a new year, so we have a different word. So we're going to talk about that here briefly before we launch that. So our word for the year this year is warrior. And this is something that Brad prays about, and then it's amazing how as we get into the next year, we see how that word fits into what's going on around us. So warrior is the word that God laid on his heart for this year. And we're going to read the definition. One who is engaged aggressively or energetically in an activity, cause, or conflict. A person who fights in battles and is known for having courage and skill. A guardian specializing in warfare. Someone who's strong and doesn't give up. One who's persistently prepared for battle and makes sacrifices to defend others. Brad had to take Mickey down to Wausau tonight because today, I guess they've made it back now, but she's got ulcers on her eyes, infections in her eyes, and if you didn't know that online, pray for her. If you're a prayer, pray for her. If you're not a prayer, why not? This is a good occasion to start. This is the warfare that we're talking about. Now, we talk about spiritual warfare, and you think about all this, whatever stuff, Jesus casting out demons and all that stuff, and it's like, that's not really for me. I'm just going to sit over here. You guys do the whole warrior thing, and, that'd be great, except you got an enemy. And it doesn't get talked about a lot in churches anymore. It certainly doesn't get talked about in the world. I think there's a lot of people in the world that really don't believe Satan exists. God, well, that's okay. We could talk about God because it's warm and fuzzy and touchy-feely. Let's talk about God, but who wants to really talk about Satan, right? People think you're crazy if you talk about the devil. It's one of those, Guess what? There's two sides to this coin. There's two sides to this war. There's two sides. And it doesn't do us a lot of good to always talk about God and forget there's an enemy. It doesn't do you much good to say, I'm not a fighter, when you have somebody whose sworn duty is to destroy you. Spiritual warfare is real, and either you're fighting or you're losing. There's no other options. Satan has sworn to see God's people destroyed. And if you're not one of God's people, well, then Satan's happy. God wants you. But Satan's looking to destroy you, so you can't just say, I'm not a fighter. I'm not, it's a conflict, the person who fights battles. It's just, that's for those other people. I'm just, number one, like Mickey tonight, there's people that need you to be fighting for them. They need your prayers. They need you to battle. And two, you can only sit on the sidelines so long before the battle gets hot for you. And sometimes you're going to be at such a disadvantage before you ever start to fight. You're going to have a tough time. So fight now. If you're a Christian, you're a warrior, whether you like it or not. The battle's real. Spiritual warfare isn't just a church thing, a Bible thing. God needs warriors. So we normally would do Romans now, but instead we're going to launch into this sermon with Pastor Brad, who he's going to talk about Israel, like curiously, a nation who people say should just sit by when everybody else around them is trying to destroy them too. So online, like I said, click on the link, and in the room, Josh is going to play it for you, starting in 3, 2, 1, 0. There you go.